Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 61st Shloka. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Tani Sarvani Sanyamya Yukta Asita Matparaha Vashehi Yasya Indriyani Tasya Prajna Pratisthita. Who is the man of steady wisdom? What are the characteristics of this Sthita Prajna? Whose mind is abided in the self? He is called Sthita Prajna. Or who is having a constant remembrance of his own nature as the Satchidananda Swarupa is the state of Sthita Prajna. So, Tasya Prajna Pratisthita. When Arjuna asked the question that, O Lord, please tell me the characteristics of this Sthita Prajna, how that man walks, talks and sits and sleeps and all those questions, and now Bhagavan started answering. And in the last 2-3 shlokas, from the 58th shloka onwards, Bhagavan giving more emphasis and the point of the emphasis on the point how the control of the senses and the mind are very important for a person to realize the self, because naturally the mind and the senses are made up to see, look outside, extroverted. That's why in Kathopanishad one mantra comes that this Brahmaji, when he created these jivas, he did a big mistake. What? Paranchikani vetrunat swayam bhuhu paran pashyati tasmat paran pashyati nantaratman. By nature, these all the sense organs are extroverted, and then after keeping them out to look, ask them to look within. Upanishad says, same Upanishad. How difficult it is? Difficult only, but you have to put an effort and achieve that. So, for that only Sukshmat Sukshmataram, Sukshmataya Sukshma Buddhihi, Surakshadara. It is like walking on a razor's edge. You must need a very vigilant and sharp mind and the intellect. Then it is possible. Okay, so naturally the sense organs and the mind are extroverted. But by practice, we have to turn them inward. We have to make them introvert. So, while telling this particular point, Bhagavan given in the 61st shloka one important point about the Indriya Nigraham. Tani Sarvani Indriyani Sanyamya Vashehi. So, it is very much essential, important, these sense organs should not run as they like to the outside. Outside is what? Only the mithya namarupa prapancha. As long as they go behind this namarupa prapancha mithya, then it is difficult for the mind to turn in. Unless the mind turn in, The mind, in order to turn inward, it needs a calmness, quietness in its um, heart, in its bosom. So if these senses are running out and they are disturbing the mind, and how such a disturbed mind can concentrate or look within and understand the self? So first of all, we have to control all the sense organs. They are good for using, okay. Now to see the Shastra, to see Bhagavad Gita, to see the Guru, to see the YouTube, we need eyes. To listen, we need ears. But if you use them moderately, controlledly, and if they are under your control, there is no problem. But if you are under their control, then the problem comes. So, yuktaha, such a controlled person, the person who controlled his sense organs first, and for that he has to do one more thing. What? He should avoid asita. Word is coming here. Arjuna asked, kim asita vrajeta kim. Asita means sits, general meaning. That means avoids. Avoids means whose mind is abided, where the sthita prajna's mind abides. Even though mind functioning through the sense organs and doing the vyavaharika few things, vyavaharam, interactions with the world, but still his attention is inward. So how that is possible? The inward attention should be where? On what? What we have to constantly remember? Mat paraha. This mat is nothing but the aham. So Bhagavan Ishvara is declaring that I am only inside the everybody's heart. So that person should focus his attention, I am staying in the heart. But finally to say, Arjuna, me himself he himself me. That means what? Slowly now this jiva bhava, ahankara bhava, kartrutva bhava, bhoktrutva bhava, all these things will vanish gradually when we recognize the inner essence, the Paramatma. Paramatma is not different and Jivatma is not different. But in the beginning level it looks like different. So to remove the difference and to bring the oneness, first we have to say, you must focus on me. Bhagavan telling mat. So such a person's knowledge, his wisdom is study wisdom. Then afterwards, because he saw the higher, he recognized the higher. When we aim for the higher purpose, naturally the lower things automatically gets dropped. This is the secret. So our aim should be higher. How much higher? There is no further higher than that anything. There is nothing I desire to know further. There is nothing bothers me later. I have to know this, I have to know this. By knowing which, you know everything. By knowing which, you will become everything and you will become full. And Bhagavan given this. So here in this itself two methods has given. One is sense control, and then the mind is recognizing the inner self as the Paramatma. There is, except the Paramatma, there is nothing Jiva or anybody Ahankara. So everywhere, in everybody, Paramatma only. So this is the second. Na Anyaha, that is the Bhavana. This meaning I already told in the last class. Now let us go to the next very important two shlokas we have to see together, because the third method Bhagavan giving here, the thought discipline or vritti nigraham or mental mind control, mind discipline purely. Shamaha, otherwise we can call according to the Yamanimas, the sadhana chatushta sampati shamam. calmness of the mind, control of the mind, withdrawal of the mind, peace of the mind. So, two slokas I will read together because now here Bhagavan telling if the mind is not properly under control, why the mind is creating a havoc, why it wants to run too much outside, why it is always anticipating something, why it is always anxious. The reason, because of this one, then all other seven follows, and such a mind is a fallen mind, downfallen. So the ladder of the spiritual ladder, from the top step, because basically we are spiritually, essentially we are Paramatma, but then why all this kind of ajnana, samsara, problem, all these things, misery, grieving, crying, yeah, everything, because we have fallen down. How that fall happened? So Bhagavan showing in these two slokas, four steps. It is a continuous fall from the higher step of the ladder. Once it falls, gradually comes to the bottom, down. So I will read two slokas and explain the meaning step by step. It is a 8-step analogy. Very beautiful, famous slokas. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sanghasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. See, 8 steps. Pranashyati. Controlling the senses, because they are gross, somewhat easy. But controlling the mind is difficult because it is subtle. So always it is difficult to tackle with the subtle thing. Atma is still more subtle to understand and grasp. That's why we have to work hard. We must work sincerely. Now what happened here? One by one. Dhyayataha pumsaha. That means the person. Dhyayataha, for a person. General meaning I will tell in between we will see. First 8 steps, let them come into the mind in order. Because of that person constantly thinking of, dwelling on Vishayan, about the sensual objects, sense objects. What are the sense objects? 5. Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Sabdan, Vishayan, Visheshan, Vishaya Visheshan, Alochayatah. So, any one of these about 5, keep on thinking about them, dwelling. Sangaha teshu upajayate. Then gradually, first time when you think, you won't get the attachment. Sangaha means asakti, okay, pritihi. That means a fancy thinking, a imaginary thinking will develop. Teshu sangaha ragaha. Asaktihi, teshu, towards those vishayas, towards them, upajayate sangha. So sangha, attachment will come. See, today, right now, in my mind, something is more relevantly, more prominently coming again and again. Means I have recently given more importance to that thing, and I constantly thought of that for a few times. that because of thought of them few times, now that thought, that particular matter, whether it is the object or the subject or the matter, that becomes predominant and it keep on moving the again and again project in the mind. Not otherwise. Everything is not coming to the surface. Some are gone past and they've gone to the bottom. But recently, presently, whichever I gave importance and on which I dwell more times, that only create the main prominent role in the mind present now in the presently. So like that, the fancy thoughts, asakti, raga will develop towards them. Then second step, when this raga sangat upajayate, sangat kamaha sanjayate. Because of that constant thinking, we develop the desire on them. The desire can be in two ways. One is either raga by way of liking or by the way of disliking also. Raga is also a desire. Dvesha also is a kind of desire. Either like or dislike. Okay. So that constant thinking created the raga, and that raga now created a and desire is born. Then once the desire born, desire, kamat krodha abhijayate. If desire comes, then why Lord says that then next the anger is born behind that? From the desire, anger arises. Here only we have to think. If desire arises, I will keep on work for the desire to fulfill. If the desire is not fulfilled because of any obstacle reason, I will become angry. That is one way to see. That's why I told, if it is already a desire in the form of a dvesha, okay, how desire will dvesha become a desire? You have to think it little coolly. See, I don't want this. That person should not come near to me. That person should not come near to me. It is a desire. What? That person should not come near to me. So, in the way of dvesha, negating, disliking, the desire is developed in the mind. Naturally, that also creates the anger, because suppose I am hating, but that object, the person, that situation is coming near to me, then naturally anger will come. So, whether it is a liking desire, if it is not fulfilled also, even it is fulfilled and but not, once if it is fulfilled, another problem, I will become greedy. Greedy. See, this mechanism happens very in a subtle way. That's why kama, krodha, lobha. When we talk about the Harishad Vargam 6, this is the order. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsaryasa. Later on, Bhagavan is going to tell that it is kama, krodha, lobha only 3 gateways to the Narakam, entrances to the hell. So, kamat krodha abhijayate. So, krodha is nothing but the other form of the kama. Because the kama is, if it is fulfilled, I am so greedy. If my greediness is not fulfilled, then krodha will come. Or I may get enviness, asuya, that also create the krodha. Or if I hate also, that will create the krodha. In any way, they are all the sisters, like one after another will come. So they are different forms of the same desire. It takes so many forms. And then, so this krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Because of this krodha, okay, I will give you a little break here to before going to the fifth point of this 63rd shloka. Here, what is the main thing now? How the desire is become the criteria, main culprit for a person to become more extroverted and makes the person more miserable or more anxious person and more restless person. So the mind is constantly disturbed and running here and there because of the so many wants, desires, and some becomes very prominent in the mind. Then, so whenever the desire comes in the mind, minimum desires will be there in the day-to-day life, because for the sake of food, shelter and clothing, we need to desire something and we have to work for it. But in the same time, are we going more than the limit? We are doing overdoing? Are we doing over? Are we otherwise are we going in a illegal and illegitimate manner? So these limits we have to always see, and then whether to cross the red light or not. We should be at the limit. So otherwise these desires, there is no end for desires. Desire kills you, but if it is a need, it fills you. That is enough. But the human mind keep on increase the desires, and if you are not careful, it is like offering in the fire more and more ghee, and the fire is become more and more big. It never say enough, because it keep on consume. Okay. So desires, we have to keep them under control. We have to keep them minimize them. Otherwise, they themselves never can complete or fulfill and get over. No, never. We have to say stop, enough of it. So then another point is krodha. This krodha, why it comes, many times we never analyze, or we have no time to analyze. But generally people will become angry, shout and become short tempered. Later on it will become their nature of the part of nature of the personality. That is his nature. He becomes angry for everything. He shouts. He is a short tempered person, like the title will come. All these things we should not justify. Never justify, have become angry because of this reason. If you are able to learn this, I cannot justify why I have become angry, because anger is an enemy to you. Anger, hatred, jealousy, all these six are inner enemies of the person, and they are waiting to, these are the inner thieves waiting to loot away, take away your Gnana Ratnam. To take away the Gnana Ratnam, they are all waiting all the time, the inner enemies or the inner thieves. Tasmat Jagrata, Jagrata. That's why, therefore, be careful, be careful. Don't worry, bother about the outer thieves, but you have inner thieves, inner enemies. Conquer them. That's why the real conquest is the inner conquest, not the outer conquest. Okay? The real is conquest is in the mind. Control the senses, control the mind, that is the only real greatness. The greatness not in the outer success, but it lies in the inner conquest. What is that inner conquest? Control the mind, control the senses. Naturally, these negative emotions are controlled. They are all emotions only, no, inside. So, krodha. So, it is such a dangerous one, krodha. It destroys the whole personality of the person. And it leads to the many other health problems and psychological problems. Krodha. What form it will take later, whether it is turned into as a greediness or jealous or hatred, also we don't know. Krodha. So, before the anger arises in your mind, you before it going to burns you, you burnt the anger. You shoot at with it. Who are you? I am a peaceful Shanti Swarupam. Where is the entry for you in me? But generally, in the world, we try to justify. Our mind tells, and it looks so nice also. See, that person told like this person did like this. Then how can I become without anger, without getting angry? That's why I become so angry. No. If somebody did something, why you have to become angry? Logic. Ask the question. Somebody did something wrong. Because you take it, he insulted me, he shouted at me, he didn't care about me. Like that, your abhimana, ahankara is got hurt. Because you are giving the importance to your abhimana, ahankara more important. For a real Atma, there is no abuse, there is no praise. There is no labha, alabha, jaya, apajaya, sukha or dukkha. Because dvandvatitaha Atma. Once if I recognize that I am such a free Atma, consciousness, free from all the pairs of opposites, then how they can affect me? Because I am giving the importance to them and I take them real and I apply to the mind, then my ahankara becomes so strong. Remember, if any person becoming more miserable or if the person becomes angry, that means he is more egoistic. A egoistic person only, more you are egoistic, more you are miserable. This is the law. So, drop all this ahankara and ahambhava, then recognize yourself, and all these, the mental modifications are not belong to you, they cannot touch you. So, krodha is a very, very important aspect which we have to take care and shoot it as soon as you find it. In the nib itself, you remove it. Once it becomes big, takes a big form, difficult to control. That's why many times people say, I know I'm becoming angry, I'm getting angry often, and because of that I shout at some people, I throw the things and I break the things, but I'm not able to control. That only Lord is telling that the lack of awareness, and after that gets over, the episode or the attack of the anger do all kind of disturbance and then loss, then you will recognize why I have shouted like this, why I have become angry so much. Then later, then what is the use? Realizing later what is the use happened already, because of its that bad effect of it already spreaded. So we must be very, very attentive and take care about this anger, and you should not allow it at any cost, at any time. Now this anger, what happens actually after the anger comes the next phenomena, the psychological change. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. When this krodha becomes so intense, then you will lose your discrimination power. You are deluded. Temporary loss of the discrimination. Then you don't know where you are and with whom you are talking and where, what you are talking. You forget all the things, whether you are a educated person, you are a decent person. You may be born in the decent family, you may be educated, but that knowledge and all that, if they are not useful, not come to help you in the crisis, then what is the use of that knowledge or the education or anything? Therefore, this avivekaha कार्याकार्य विषयः अविवेकः कार्याकार्य विषयः. What to do, what not to do, what to speak, what should not speak. These discrimination he will loses. That is called delusion, sammoha. Then it won't stop there. After the sammohat, smruti vibhramaha. Smruti vibhramaha. Now what is happening slowly? The virus of anger starts becoming more and more stronger, and it will start showing its effects. These are all the effects of the anger. Anger is like a virus. You know virus, the spelling. In English now, virus not only attacks the people, okay? If the virus attacks are all very dangerous, no? New viruses will come like COVID and other things, this thing. And for that again, some virus. But it will make you to suffer for 1 week or 10 days, even common cold virus, flu and all that. Then makes the person weak and go. But some viruses are very dangerous. So this virus, and later in our computers also this virus problem is there. In every computer, to make the computer to function well, we need the antivirus software. So they say virus, what is the meaning of that spelling virus? V stands for the vital information. Okay, vital information, and then V stands for vital, I stand for the information, R stands for the resources, U stands for the under, S stands for the seas. Now read all this together. The vital information resources are under seas. Now your inner equipment, intellect, because intellect also corrupted, then naturally there your discrimination power will be in the intellect only. What is buddhi? Nishchayatmika buddhi, which discerns and decides, is called buddhi. But that is lost now. So because of this virus of the anger, now because of sammohat, because of that delusion, which results smruti vibhramaha, he loses temporarily his memory. What memory? I am an officer, I am a decent person, I am an educated person, I am among the many other gentlemen or people. He forgets everything, memory, because of the delusion. Smruti, memory. Here, Shankaracharya tells that Smruti, so many good things we know. In this world, there is nobody there who don't know what is good, what is bad, what is dharma, what is adharma. Everybody knows, in irrespective of the education, educated or uneducated. Everybody knows. But the problem comes whether we are able to apply that when we required in our day-to-day life. There we need a strength and courage. A meek person cannot apply and follow the dharma, the values or the good things. That's why everybody is well known about the good things. Okay, but helplessly, and we are addicted to the bad things, and then many big, whether small or big. I know coffee drinking is not good. That too, 2-3 times, or tea, or cigarette, or alcohol, or too much spicy food, okay, or too much junk food. All these kinds of colored cool drinks. Everybody knows, but the people are able to control them, stop them at least. Why they have to use it all first of all? So each one in one or other addicted by any one sense organ, the objects. So everybody knows, but now it's not come to our rescue. Our knowledge is not firm. Our commitment for good and the dharma and values is not firm. That's why we are talking of the firm knowledge, sthita prajna. If you are a sthita prajna, your knowledge, your understanding, your commitment is sincere and strong, how then you can commit the mistakes? How you can go in a wrong way? How you can show the anger? How you can become addict to the so many small and big things, and then spoil your life and others' life? Then later on, why you cry or they become miserable? So Smruti Bhramshaha. Shankara says, Shastra Acharyopadesha Deshahita Samskara Janita Yaha Smrutehe Syat. That's why even you heard Shastra, now we are listening to Bhagavad Gita. If this knowledge is not helping for us really in practical life, then it is useless. What is the need of talking, listening to this? For punyam, who wants the punyam? I want now the peace of mind now and here. I want the happiness now and here. I want the permanent security now and here. The peace and happiness and the security, PHS value, that I need. If it is not coming now and giving now, then something later, who wants it? So Smriti, Acharya, Shastra listened, and many good things are heard from the Guru, and even though that samskara janita, because of that whatever, many years, and suddenly all that has disappeared. Shankara says one more thing. How much this sammoha, delusion, because of the krodha, even he forgets he is talking to his guru. Kruddho hi sammodha san gurumapi akroshati. Even he shouts and shows the anger at the guru, because in Shankara's opinion, Guru is the highest revered, reverenceable person. And if that guru also in front of the guru, that's why our speech should be under control, particularly when we are with the Mahatmas and gurus. That's why in our South Indian tradition, we should not talk directly to the Acharya, Mahatmas. That's why we keep the hand here. In South India, people fall. It is not something Achara, my breath should not fall, because Guru Gita, all these things are told. Even your breath should not fall on the Guru when you are talking. Same way, your saliva droplets are also fall. Why all these kind of things? That much you must know. You must have such a great reverence, where you have that is the highest altar for you, where you have a highest reverence. Then what happens? There you surrender your all habitual habits and the habitual negative emotions, ahankar, everything will slowly, gradually, by serving the Guru, by living with the Guru, by listening to the Shastra. That's why these kind of traditions are all kept. We must know it and follow. Even if you don't do that, also if you follow that, how much loudly I have to speak, how much in distance I have to speak, and how I have to start speaking, all these things matters. So Shankara tells one step higher that Guru, he shouts at the Guru also, anger. Then if he shouts at the Guru itself, then what to say about his wife and the children, or the friends, or the relatives? Anyhow, after that, now we have come to the last sixth step. Smriti Bhramshat. Once if the person Karyakara Vishaya Viveka Ayogyata, now he lost his memory, he doesn't know what to talk, what to say. Smriti Bhramshat. What happened? Buddhi Nashaha. The vital information resources are under siege. Buddhi Antakaranasya buddhehe nasha uchyate. Antakaranasya. Buddhi means here the antakaranam, the inner equipment, inner instrument is now stunned. It is not doing what it has to supposed to do because of this virus. Buddhe antakaranasya nashaha. Then buddhi nashat, then what is there later, further? Only pranashyati. Viveka ayogyatve nashtayeva purushaha bhavati. Here pranashyati means falling. What do you mean by sir fall? Where he will fall? He will fall on the floor, or fall from the first floor to ground floor. Here Shankara says, from the ladder of this spiritual ladder's life, the accomplishment of the Purusharthas. These four Purusharthas, according to the four ashrama dharmas, and they are kept like a ladder. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. From the ladder of the moksha, instead of gaining the moksha after going to the higher final Gnana Yoga step, he lost the chance of growing internally, spiritually. That is the meaning. He lost the chance of growing internal growth. We are talking now about that internal growth is more important than the external growth. External growth is visible, but internal growth is invisible. Adi drishtam, idi adrishtam. But generally we are attracted to the drishtam only. We never know and think about the adrishtam. Okay. So here, like this, very beautifully, so this permanent loss of the discrimination. Okay, this is one emotion we are taking and telling, but see, you apply this, how the step by step things are happening. The whole life of a materialistic person is like ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषु भजायते. One after another attachment and desire. Okay, like as Shankara said in the Bhajagovindam, balasthava krida saktah tarunasthavak taruni saktah वृद्धस्तावक चिंतासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोपि न सक्तः. Even though 100 years lifespan given, nowadays nobody is not living 100 years, very rare, we don't know. Anyhow, 4 quarters of the life, if it is a 75 also, divide into 4 quarters. Instead of coming to the moksha purushartha one by one, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but these people are materialistic people, these deluded people, abuddhiman, avivekinaha, what they do? They will keep on increase their desire and the attachment to the worldly things. How? Balasthawak toys saktah, tarunastavak girlfriend saktah, vruddhastavak grandchildren saktah. Where is the question of thinking about the Brahman, Bhajagovindam? Where is the question of Bhajagovindam? But namesake, they do puja, they do bhakti, they few times. But where is the attention? The bhakti also to bargain with the Lord and settle my family things, settle my grandchildren, settle my property. Always desires about the material relative world only. Not asking after getting the human body, such a valuable thing, the highest Parama Purushartha, moksha. Okay. Now, after very beautifully given this analogy of this is the downfall, this is the cause. Okay. Very systematic. We have to again and again ponder on these words and how this is happening in my life if I am not careful and aware. You see, most of the retired people, most of the people who are, their family duties are settled, children are settled, but still they are so much involved in the worldly matters. Either it is the family, either it is the social, or either it is the political. What is your purpose of the life? What for you have come here? You must remember that, no? That's why if the goal is not clear, the path also will be vague. So goal must be known first, then we have to strive to reach that goal, and that path also should be proper. If the goal is not clear, if the path also is not clear, both are problems. If that is also not clear, path is clear, but I don't know goal. Our goal is clear, but I don't know the path. You need to seek the help of the Shastra and the teacher. That is the only way. Now, after telling that, so in the previous 2 shlokas, this is the Sarvan Anardhasya Moolam Uktam, told. This is the Anardha. Anardha means the bad luck, unfortunate people's bad luck. This is the cause for their bad luck. But here bad luck means I lost the lottery, I got the lottery, and not that. Here bad luck means after getting the human birth also, he not utilized it for the moksha, self-realization. He just lived like an animal, eating, drinking and enjoying, and he died. Kavo, pivo, maja karo, phir maro. No. There is something higher. The human birth is the highest, is the crown of the creation. Crown of the creation. Then, so they lost that anardhasya moolam uktam. That is Vishaya Abhidhyanat. avidya. So worldly matters, world. Now, other other side, who is interested in that attaining the purushartha, interested to attain that sthita prajna, jivan mukti state, okay, moksha karanam idam uchyate. Now, Bhagavan is going to explain that the positive side. So, here, ragadveshaviyuktaisto vishayanindriyaischaran atmavashyirvidheyatma prasadhamadhigacchati. Who is the quiet and calm and peaceful and who is having the permanent happiness and permanent peace and the permanent security, or at least trying to get the permanent happiness and peace and security here and now itself, in spite of any conditions. That opportunity given, the choice given. So, prasadam adhigacchati. That person alone will attain this prasadam. Prasadam means whichever we get from the Lord in the temple, no? After offering to the Lord, whatever, you buy the sweets from a outside sweet shop and offer to the Lord, and the pujari will take into the temple and put one tulasi leaf and bring that box and give to you, then it becomes a prasadam. Okay? Here, that is one meaning, but here, prasadam adhigacchati. Prasadam means prasadaha prasannata swasthyam. Shankara gives meaning prasada means prasanna. Prasadaha prasannata. Okay. Prasannata means this word is very important. Swasthyam also is important. Swasmin sthiti iti swasthyam. Generally, the swasthyam word is used in the Ayurveda or in the traditional olden days we people in all languages. Are you swasthyam? Are you healthy? To ask swasthyam means are you healthy? But what is the meaning of that swasthyam? Generally, people say health. No, swasmin sthiti eva swasthyam. Abiding in his own self is the real health. See how beautiful, swasthyam. And another meaning Shankara gives, prasannata. Generally, prasannata means see his face, how prasannam, how peaceful, calm, quiet, serene. But real meaning again there also, Sat and Satta, these are the root words, and that Sat, when it becomes a noun, it is the sanna, it becomes as like at dhatu. At means eating. When it becomes a what is eaten, that becomes the at annam. Annam means which is useful, ready to eat, which is eaten by, which can be eaten, is called annam. In the same way, Sat, its noun form is called sanna. That means what? When one is abided in his own self, recognizes his own self as the Sachidananda Swarupa, that too prasanna, prakarshana, fully, completely, solidly, without any doubt. That is called prasannata. So, the joy and the completeness, purnatvam, which comes because of this Sat Sanna, okay, abiding in the own self. It is not because of the little meditation I did, So that's why I am so peaceful. I slept so well, so I am very fresh. Okay, or I enjoyed some object, my mind is so calm and now thrilled and satisfied. That is comes and goes. That's why Shanti, Ashanti, Prashanti, all above this word comes up. Prasannata. This is only Vedantic terminology technically used. Prasannata. That so because of abiding in his own self, and he is now a perfectly healthy person, then whatever that state of mind now, in spite of all the fluctuations in the mind, but now the mind is not a no more a problematic, it is not a liability at all, it is only asset. Such state is called prasadam. Tranquility in English simple meaning they will give, but behind that this much is there. That's why I explained these two words of the prasannata, swasthyam. Okay. So when unless the mind is discovered and merged, mingled with the inner self, the mind can never attain the real tranquility or the peace. By taking the tranquilizers, also mind become tranquil. But that is not the meaning. By taking the liquors, also people's mind become tranquil. But we know what is the side effect later, after effect. So, but here, Swarupam, when the mind is recognized and focused, now left all the worldly things, they are all nothing, it doesn't matter. The material things doesn't matter at all. How does it matter about the matter? So prasannata. So that sad dhatulo prasidata, prasidati, prasannata. That's why Shuklam Bharadaram says prasannavadanam dhyayet sarva vigno prasanna prasadam adhigachyati. Now who can get this abiding on self and swasthyam? So Bhagavan giving indeed tu, that means as comparing to the above description now here, but really speaking, charan vishayan, even though moving among the midst of the unavoidable, the worldly, because body is there, some minimum relationships are there, possessions will be there. Whether you have to either live here or you have to live in the jungle, you have to live in the cave, somewhere you have to live, no. So, when this person is moving in among the sense objects amidst avarjaniyan upalakshaman, upalakshamana. Avarjaniyan means you cannot avoid. Interacting with your own body itself is interaction only, no? It is also vyavaharam. You have to give the bath to this body, you have to brush the teeth, you have to give the food, you have to put the clothes. All these are also interaction, vyavaharam only. Vyavaharam is not necessarily that you do with many people in the world or outside. Even you are doing vyavahara with your own mind. You have to transact with your mind, you know, when you are sitting alone. You talk to yourself. The mind will undergo so many modifications, comes and goes. Body requires so many things, it shows so many symptoms. You have to interact with that. That is also vyavaharam. That's why Shankara says avarjaniyan. These things we cannot avoid. That's why Kanchi Paramacharya says in one of his quotations, lectures, be conservative in your thinking also, thought. We are talking about the water conservation and this one, that one, everything, no? Saving the water. You be conjuice or conservative even in your thinking also. Okay. Why you have to think? Save, don't think minimum. So in this way, charan vishayan indriyahi atmavashyehi. With the sense organs, he moves with which are under his control. With under everything is control, he is moving, he is using. Like others, he is also using. He also eats, he also listens, he also sits, he also sleeps. But how he do all these things? Raga, dvesha, vyuktaihi. See the fundamental point again, we have come to that same. There is no either a liking or disliking. There is no liking or the aversion, attachment, raga, dvesha, viyuktaihi. Now, no sense organ is not addicted or not craving for anything, and I give whatever is required. I know very well. This is called well disciplined. We have seen already Vyavasayatmika buddhi, cultivated mind. Ragadvesha vyuktaihi. For it also Shankara says Shastra viruddheshu avarjiniyeshu yuktaha. Okay. Whatever is do's and don'ts, vidhi nishedhas are given, told by the Shastra, and he never goes against to that Shastra's injunctions. Shastra viruddheshu avarjiniyeshu, which you have to give up, which you have to do, and niyata karma and vihita karma and nishiddha karma, prohibited. That's why called vidhi nisheda. So this he follows. That is the meaning of raga dvesha vyuktai or vidheyatma. For that, this meaning is vidheyatma. This self-controlled person, vidheyatma, means he is vidheya means who is very much obedient. Who is obedient to the Shastra's injunctions. Why Shastra tells so many do's and don'ts and control all this? Why? Because for my good only. First of all, that I must know. Shastra tells only for my good. So, vidheyatma, such a person, adhigacchati, he enjoys this prasadam. He enjoys that prasadam. The whole life is a prasadam. It is a gift given to me by the Lord. Then I must utilize that gift properly. Not only that, I must give this gift after properly using for the higher purpose and hand over to the Lord. O Lord, for what purpose you have given this gift to me? I utilized it properly, fully. Thank you so much. With that gratitude, you must live. He is called Sthita Prajna, the man of steady wisdom. More in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. That's it.